Hi, my name's Kayanne, and I'm working in my Hobonichi Cousin, and I invite you to follow along with me. Alright, I'm working on the last stretch of the month of April, and I think I have, well, that one needs a little bit. The 21st, I need something. I just have a few missing days here and there. You know, I don't mind because I just like to have some time to spend with my planner anyway, so that doesn't bother me at all. I'm just going back to my weekly pages here to kind of check what I did. And I might make myself a few little notes. I like to keep some sticky notes handy so that I can it's a new pen, so I've got to get that little ball off of the end. There. I'm just working on getting myself a little organized here and know what I'm doing on my pages before I get started. I cut all these little pieces of art out of my inventory sheet, and they're all the pieces that sold during the art show, and so I thought it'd be kind of fun to put those on there, but I quickly realized those did not fit so good, so they didn't end up getting on the page. Well, I think maybe I put a couple of them on the page, but yeah, I have recorded elsewhere what sold, so it doesn't really need to be there. Here I'm moving ahead with Plan B on the page. So just trying out some different things. I have all these little bits and pieces that I have saved and cut out and pictures that I took. So I'm just arranging to see what fits. This was a really sunny day after it had been cloudy and rainy the last couple days, so I put a little watercolor sunshine in the background of this page. This is the day we were headed back home, and when we're traveling like that, we find places to spend the night. Cracker Barrel allows RVs to park behind their restaurant, and so we stayed in a Cracker Barrel parking lot and ate breakfast there the next morning. We really enjoyed being able to sleep in a little bit. The art show had started at 7 a.m. every morning, which meant we had to be there before that to get ready. And so we'd had some early mornings and really enjoyed a little bit more leisure day, even though we had a long drive back home to make. I got a little bit of work done on the way home, and am just recording some of that, things that I took care of, commissions to arrange, some things like that. And just kind of little recording our trip. Now that my watercolor's dry, I can go back and journal on top of it over on this page. I love watercolor because it's easy to write on top of. pulling out my May Patreon collage sheets here, so I can use some of those bits and pieces in there. I've added my date numbers by Trendovi from a collage sheet on Etsy. I have my own days of the week from my May patron. And also the little book in the corner that I decided on instead of the typewriter is from my collage page for my May patrons as well. Now I've pulled out some old letter stickers that I've had for a long time and decided to use those to write poetry on the book cover. I'm using a little slip that looks like an old receipt to write where we ate supper that night. It was Sunday morning catfish, so that was kind of interesting. I'm using that leftover bit of paper from the header that I cut a little while back, and I'm putting it along the bottom, adding some washi tape. I just kind of like that look. I'm choosing another piece of paper from my Patreon collage sheet, and I'm using it to cut out some letters to spell a word. So I always start by cutting a block the size that I want my letters to be, and then it makes it much easier to get my letters cut consistently. So that's what I'm doing here. I had a big long list to do that day, but I don't really want to take time to go back and write all that down. And so I'm just making some big, kind of a big title that kind of sums up what the day was all about. Part of catching up always involves some laundry, so I'm cutting out my new little washing machines from my May patron page and using that on here, and I've cut it on sticker paper so it makes it real easy to get stuck in. I just slipped it underneath the C a little bit there. Days of the week were also from my Patreon collage sheet, so I'm adding those in. I'm going back and double checking what I need to write on Monday. I just got some new Moonlight gel pens in kind of vintage colors, or a little bit darker colors than the ones I'd had before, and so I'm really liking those for doing some journaling in my pages. I'm really enjoying these new date dots. I think maybe they're a favorite yet. I guess the colors just always seem like they kind of match or stand out on my page. I'm also really happy with this stack of dirty dishes. It seems like my husband and I always have some dirty dishes piled up and are always needing to tackle those. So this was from my Patreon collage sheet, a little chore page with some cleaning supplies and the laundry and the dirty dishes and everything. And it's like, we spend so much of our time dealing with those. It just seemed nice to have little pieces to go along with that. I'm pulling out my Tombow markers here to do a little bit of lettering. I kind of like having the idea of having kind of the theme for the day printed big and then doing the other little writing around it. I'm pulling out my watercolors to make some more of those journaling lines. I am using a new green I haven't even taken time to put it into a pan yet, but I am really liking it. using that Moonlight Gel Pen again. This one's kind of a corally, dark coral color. This little woman that I'm sticking in here is by James Burke, and I thought she just tied in nicely with that stack of dishes. I'm looking to fill in that space a little bit, cutting out from my collage sheets again. I end up changing my mind later, but that's just a lot of the trial and error that I go through on my pages. And that finishes up April, and I'm ready now to move on to May. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.